各种手术治疗肝癌之外，对肝癌病人来说，肝移植也许是挽救生命的措施之一。目前，肝移植也是全球医学界关注的一个焦点话题。
So in New York, the large proportion of patients that we consider for transplantation have hepatomas or hepatocellular carcinoma. This is liver cancer. A very large percentage of these patients are in the Chinese community. About 1/3 of the patients we have on the list are Chinese. The tumors can be caused by hepatitis B, which is very prevalent in China, or hepatitis C, which is also prevalent in China. There's more hepatitis C in the US than B. At the end of the day, about 60% of the patients, somewhere between 50 and 60% of the patients who get transplanted have a tumor in their diagnosis. And what happens is when the liver gets cirrhotic, when it gets diseased by a virus, so the virus could be hepatitis B, it could be hepatitis C, or it could also be alcohol or other diseases such as autoimmune disease. When it takes that injury on, it generates tumors, and the tumors look like this. Once the liver starts making tumors, it's going to make more of them. So the traditional way of resecting the tumor could be good, and that may gain you some time, but the cure is going to be by liver transplantation because the tumor factory is going to be removed.
So very often we're in the front lines and we pick up the liver cancer, and then we decide along with our surgical oncology team what to do about it. Here at Mount Sinai, like at many large transplant centers, we have a multidisciplinary approach. So every patient who has liver cancer is funneled through one system. So we have 20 doctors who sit in the room, radiologists, oncologists, surgical oncologists, medical doctors, and we come up with a plan for each specific patient based on how sick their liver is, what their other medical conditions are, and what their tumor is like.
肝移植的成功率是90%，但是移植后并不是就此万事大吉，因为医生还要用药物来防止病患身体排斥所移植的肝脏，还要防止移植肝脏受到肝炎病毒的感染。
A transplant is a life-saving measure. However, it's trading one set of problems for another, because after a transplant, you have to take certain medications for the rest of your life. These medications prevent the liver from rejecting and from making sure that the body holds on to the liver.
Among all the various reasons why people might need transplants, having hepatitis B problems have been, for many years, giving the best results, because we've had very effective medicines to stop hepatitis B and prevent it from infecting a new liver. So that the success rates of a transplant, if the problem that led to the transplant doesn't come back, are now probably up in the mid-90s% at 1 year, and at 5 years, somewhere in the mid to high 80s%, something like that. Things can go wrong with the transplant. It has to be matched. There is this issue of rejection, and people have to take medicines to block the immune system. But over the years, we've come to be able to manage that well enough that it really is not a big problem for liver transplants. It's more of a problem in other organs like heart transplants, kidneys, lung and bowels are the worst. But the liver, it's really not a big problem with rejection.
做肝移植手术一般5到7天后就可以出院，肝移植以后的护理才是关键。事后护理包括要服药，帮助机体不去排斥所移植的器官。
The key about liver transplantation is the care afterwards, and that's what we afford the patients we're very proud of. It's taking the medicines so you don't reject. There are very few patients that will reject the organ outright as long as they take their medicines. Medicines have side effects, and we've been studying that in published papers to make the side effects the least for our patient population. We treat different viruses, so it's very important that the hepatitis B virus be treated after liver transplantation. We used to give large quantities of an antibody against hepatitis B. We now developed a technique and published it in Liver Transplantation last year, which is a combination agent against hepatitis B, just giving this pill and no longer needing to give the antibody shots on a monthly basis. Saves a lot of money, and the patients are very happy.